So that's what this agenda is about. It's about assuring that we increase our numbers.
We didn't cross the border crossed us.
They can try to call it legal or illegal immigration. It is what it is, and that's an alien invasion. My people undermined on purpose over time. Now strangers in our own land conquered by design. Original folks disenfranchised and displaced. Nowhere to live, my ancient presence erased. Disrespectful foreigners want me replaced. Their sense of entitlement to slap in my face. Their arrogance insults me. Their false pride is insane. Waving their flags for where they came, yet complain when they taste how it feels to be black. Then why they here? They can always go back. Land of opportunity and the free, promise to them, cause it was stolen from me. They've been allowed to come up at my expense. I got no rights, but they do fence. No, they jumped the fence. The lie is told, it's been bought and sold. That they do job no one will do or this economy folds. I may not be the sharpest crayon in the box, but if I put to their country, I'd be laying in a box. Or locked up or missing, if I did there what they do here. Well, they understand English real clear. Playing dumb, but only look out for their own. Look down at me while sending their money back home. Just taking and breeding, just like parasites. Played humble till they got deep and started racial fights. But since their authorized invasion affected whites, now they protest about immigrant rights. Thought they had clout cause their numbers burst, saying they taking this land back like they were here first. Not those my actors they hate, from whom they originate. Or Califia, the sister whose name's now the state. They better do right or end up as cannon fodder when these devils do their mass exterminations and slaughter. Plus the famine coming from the Gulf situation and social economic collapse by alien invasion.
You're sucking at the hind tit of a dead cow. You look to government to solve problems they created in the first place.
Racial showcasing, racial population tailoring, racial dislocation, and white sacrifice. And these four things are designed to produce maximum sophisticated confusion.
The worst invaders I'll give more focus. Those whose descendants came from Europe like locusts, destroying Earth by greed and wars they designed. A system of racist white supremacy refined. A demonic world government's the goal, to enslave everybody so they stay in control. But time's up for their failed so-called order, trying to merge north and south of this border. Across the Atlantic they've been undermined, a sanctioned non-white invasion by design. Subsidies and benefits for all these new neighbors, so they're done with them and everyone is cheap labor. And force fake fraudulent codes to obey. They owe a debt of karma their money can't pay. From pollution, rape, and genocide they carried in the graves they dug for others they'll be buried in. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Hypocrites call me racist with their slander. Race wars incited, from the millions invited, conquered and divided. Got these other foreigners treating me like a lesser, while they idolize their brown-nosed their oppressor. They don't know, not long ago, they brought the free enslaved blacks into Alamo. This American dream's over. Wake up, a civil war's coming, the U.S. will break up their popes, their queen, and founding fathers deceived. All their hopes and American dreams they believe. Soon you smell them coming before seeing them on trains. Shackled up and packed inside them in chains, being put on boats, being shipped back where they came. To the parts of Europe not destroyed that remain. Chinese and other foreign troops on the soil. This vulcanized so-called melting pot had to boil. Methane eruption or a quake on this nation. This beast faces self-destruction from alien invasion.
Today is Monday, May 5th, 2014. African Americans Ain't African Radio. The talk show that proves without a shadow of a doubt that the so-called African American didn't find his way to America. Locked in the trunk of a ship, I'm your host, Buck Wylam. Tonight, we have a repeat guest. Matter of fact, his earlier show has gotten a great response on YouTube. African Americans Ain't African Radio. Just a common sense brother tonight. Tonight we're going to be joined by Ticha Tiwa Teo Khan. And he's going to drop some information on us that what's going on in the world and how it relates to us. You can reach us at area code 256-849-2227, AfricanAmericansAintAfrican.org, Facebook, African American Ain't African, in the chat room. We welcome your comments. We welcome your insight. If you have a little flashlight, please shine it on us. As always, I'm joined by my co-host, Rick Moon. Rick Moon, what's going on?
Hey, too much going on. I just want to say hello to all the people out there in radio land. And good to have Brother Ticha on the program again. I think the first time he was on the program, I was late that time, so I really didn't get to catch much of what was going on, but I got him tonight, and it's a pleasure to listen to his teachings.
Well, great, man. We gonna get into it, man. But that song that was playing, the verse when he said "sucking the tit of a dead cow." Did you get that? Did you get that one, Rick?
Yeah, I got it. That's J-Bach, right?
Yes, J-Bach. J-Bach. Alien Invasion. Really good tune by the brother J-Bach. Ticha Tiwa Teo Khan, how you doing, brother?
Hey, how you doing, Buck? How you doing, Rick? Man, I'm glad to be back, man, because hey, new info, new ideas, and new frames of mind have come to light. You know, that needs to be shared with everybody.
Well, we gonna jump right into it. We can't wait because I want to use all this time to hear you speak. So, brother, take it away. Countdown. Let me ask you this. Let me start off with this. Teacher. Countdown to Armageddon. What do you mean by countdown to Armageddon?
Well, countdown has always been symbolic of almost something like a countdown to a bomb going off, countdown to a rocket ship shooting off to space, countdown to a party getting ready to begin. So Armageddon has always been related to an end, which came from the word Megiddo, which was known for a lot of battles. Every battle, hundreds of battles was brought to the valley of Megiddo to decide who was going to be the victor. And whoever came out alive, they rose. And the ones that got beat, they had to take whatever that came to them. So when I say countdown to Armageddon, this is the countdown to the final decision of what's going to happen to this so-called black race as we know it.
Are you saying that Armageddon is about to hit America or the so-called African American and American? What do you mean?
Yes, all one and the same.
Why?
See, America, as we know it, is made up of all types of different races of people. And if you know it or not, in any environment, all things fight for survival.
Yes.
So, in this process of fighting for survival, we got to break it down to races. Races of people. And how are they faring in this fight? Because if you know anything about the ocean, certain sponges at nighttime, they spread out to gain more territory. And other sponges and other creatures that are in the path, if they don't get out of the way, then they're going to be, coral do the same thing. Corals expand. And there are wars going on even on the seabed for territory and for dominance. So why would not it be going on amongst the races? So how are the so-called black folks faring in this fight? That's the question.
Now, this is a question that's not asked a lot, teacher. A lot of times when we get together and we speak about things, we talk about insignificant things, sports, things that are just insignificant. This is one of the things that we never talk about. Why is that?
Because we don't want to face our fears. See, when we actually put ourselves on the scale of how we're faring in this situation, we know that we're losing. So, with us, we have very creative and innovative minds. We can make the best out of worst situations. You can put some of us in a rat hole and say, this is where you're going to be. As long as we eat and we got our little measly lives, we'll make do. We'll say it's the boom boom room. And next thing you know, you'll hear music playing on the walls and the floor, and we're having a good time, even in the worst situation. So it's not very hard to manipulate the minds of the so-called black folks. It's not very hard because of our makeup. And a lot of people don't want to admit to this, but it's in our DNA, just like it's in others' DNA to do what they do. We just have to accept it and embrace it and understand, and then, work from there.
So when you
or
say,
not work from there.
Okay, so when you say it's in our makeup, could you elaborate, please?
All right. Back to how black people are faring in this society.
Yes, sir.
But what are most of us doing? Let's let's look at us. If you can include myself, because I'm Toddy Brown.
Yes, sir. So
and I'm dark as just as anybody. So I believe I got permission to say what I'm saying, and I'm here to piss off some folks, because as long as everybody is happy, then you won't see the problem. But when I put it in their faces, I'm here to piss pastors off. I'm here to piss these Afro Americans off, these black folks, and all these other folks, because that's the only thing that wakes us up, is if we get pissed off.
So I'm
hoping I piss some folks off.
So are you saying that the black race is basically what you're saying? The black race is destined for the scrap heap.
They have gotten the name of useless eaters, and they still haven't sunk in yet. I asked the guy, hey man, don't you know that they're calling you a useless eater? I'm not a useless eater. I get a check every month. I said, well, what type of check do you get? I get food stamps, and I'm applying for my disability. Now, what part of that he didn't understand? Now, for some reason, he feels like he's got two, and I see that he's got 2 arms, 2 legs, but somebody somewhere owes you something. Or if you're sitting back waiting to reap the benefits of something that you're not even doing a damn thing for. So now when you get your check, you're going to pay for your little spot that you live in, and you're going to go to the grocery store and spend most of it on groceries, if not on dope. And guess what you do? You just eat, drink, and be merry, and you're not a useless eater. What are you producing besides a pile? And you know what I'm talking about.
So what you're saying
anybody can go to the toilet and make a pile.
So what you're saying is the African American spends most of his time in the pursuit of consuming, just buying other people's stuff.
Hey, we're number one at it. So when you examine our position in this thing, if we are not producing anything to buy these things legitimately, I'm not talking about you go work a job. Okay, if the powers that be on that job say, hey, we don't want you here anymore, and they fire you, guess what? You got to go and petition and beat on doors and send resumes to who? Other people that are not like you to hire you. When can you go to your own people and say, okay, here's a corporation over here. They hire, African Americans, Native Americans, people of color, from other countries of color, Mexicans, which promotes things that gives them a better way of life. How many? None. So now we want to get mad at the Mexicans and the other people because they coming over here opening up businesses, and they say, oh, they giving them grants. All right. We got an excuse for everything. Everything. We got a slick excuse on why we are still in the condition that we are in. But you know what? I love to talk to the preachers, because there's a scripture that says a tree that bears no fruit is good for nothing but to be cut down and thrown into the fire. Now, we in the Bible, everybody knows we are symbolic, represented symbolic as trees. Now, we planted a vineyard, and it's time for the fruit to come on the tree. And we go out there, not one tree got nothing on it. And not only it didn't bear nothing this year, it didn't bear nothing the next year or the year after that. What you think I'm going to do to it? I'm going to go cut it down and burn it. So look at all these trees walking around here. I'm talking about human trees, because trees are our direct brothers and sisters, the ones that can't move. We are just walking trees. Because without trees, it wouldn't be us. So look at all these trees walking around that are bearing no fruit. They aren't producing a thing. They're just going around, and now they've become to the point where they're going around breaking in, stealing, sucking up, beating old ladies. Come on.
Area code 256-849-2227. African Americans Ain't African Radio. Rick Moon. Got any questions for Ticha? Ticha, how bad are our consuming habits? Because you're absolutely right. We, as a group of people, we produce nothing. And when it's bought up, it's like you're speaking another language. How bad is our consumption of other people's goods?
Well, this question came up in the place of work. And the guy said, well, black people got some products. Well, I said, well, they got some brand names with their names on it. But ultimately, where does the core goods, where do the core goods come from?
Somebody else.
That these, from some other country that are producing these materials.
Yes, sir.
So, again, they don't have anything without the actual growers and producers. Now, what are black people producing? Not a doggone thing. And we ask ourselves, look at my pretty little baby. Ooh, look, there's another one. Look at our pretty little babies. What are you raising these babies to become? Bloodsuckers of a system producing nothing.
We have a caller.
I'm just going to tell it like it is.
That's how we like it to be told. We have a phone call in, 901 area code. Caller, what's your name and where you calling from? Okay, Ticha, what's happening to our young men? What's happened? What's happened there? I mean, I think we've all seen it deliberate, because it probably happened to us too. And we survived it to recognize what it is. What is happening to our young men?
Well, again, we came up through, I think, well, I can speak for myself. We came up through an era where the people and their mindset were different, because we all knew about the struggle. But for some strange reason, these kids don't even know about any struggle. You talk to them about, they know, some of them know of the name, and then I've talked to some that don't even know who Dr. Martin Luther King was. They don't even know who Medgar Evers was. Medgar Evers. You know, so in the process, something was lost. And whatever was lost, it was replaced with something. So what was it replaced with? So I look around at my black young men. Okay? Well, what are they doing over there? They're standing over there all day with their pants hanging, with their underwear showing, drinking beer, throwing dice, going back and forth to wherever they're going and coming back, coming and going. Well, aren't there anybody over there producing anything? Are they growing anything? I mean, what's going on? Nothing.
Hello?
Trees that are bearing no fruit.
Yes, caller.
Yes. Is this me? Is it my turn?
Who are you?
This is Sakima.
Mr. Sakima, how can we help you?
I was just calling into the show, and I didn't catch the topic, and I was really kind of green to how this is an opinion offering or commenting on a subject.
Well, why don't you take a listen first, and then you be the judge of that.
Okay, how would I chime in to make a response?
Just listen so you can see what's being said. Then if you have something to say, you can chime in.
Okay, I can just talk. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Teacher, please go ahead. You were talking about what's happening to the young men, about that they're just standing around not producing.
Yeah, if we take a good look and see, a lot of us, we want to protect our families. We got this family code where we protect our family members even if they are worthless, even if we know that they are doing things that are not legal. We want to protect those type of attitudes and those type of actions because we're not producing anything else. The vacuum that was lost in my generation for wanting to become inventors, producers of something, that was lost. It was pacified through being given things without any work. They didn't have to work for it. See, that's why I frown at Christmas. Because you got all these people. Yes. Excuse me? Hello?
Yes?
All right. You got all these people around here celebrating a holiday that is fictitious. They don't even understand where it came from. Easter along with it, and that's why the Bible calls the church a whore. People don't understand that. But back to the original conversation. They're around here celebrating Christmas. Every gift that is given is supposed to have a purpose. When you look at that gift, it's supposed to remind you why the giver gave it to you. Now, you got people giving gifts all because Santa supposed to rode around and brought gifts to all the boys and girls. Well, what about the people over here that didn't get any? They woke up and there wasn't a doggone thing under the tree. Matter of fact, there wasn't anything in the refrigerator. So, in other words, Santa was angry at them, and then when they really realized the lie, then they all turned around and discombobulated. But our black men, and I want to go back to this about these trees. A tree that bears no fruit is good for nothing but to be cut down and cast into the fire. So count down to Armageddon. It is the beginning of the end of what we know as the useless eaters.
Now, when you say useless eaters, who are you referring to?
All those people that are eating, drinking, and being merry, getting fat off of the backs of all of those who are producing or trying to produce something.
Yes, this is a radio talk show.
That's what's going on. And it's being perpetrated even through the young men now. They will use a food stamp card just as hard as a female will. So what does that tell you? They are being trained to be feminine.
Dependent.
And females were taught to be dependent upon their husbands. So it's backwards.
So is this one of the reasons why you're seeing the demasculation or the emasculation of the so-called African American male? Is that a big prong in
yes,
that?
It is. Yes.
Go ahead, teacher. I'm sorry.
No, brother. I just was going to say, there's a war going on all fronts, spiritually as well as physically, and the Bible is the main tool that is being used to destroy masses of people, not only people of color, people all over the face of the earth.
Now, what do you mean by that?
The words have been twisted. The stories have been twisted. The Genesis story that we talked about, I think on one of the other sessions.
Yes.
People don't understand that there were two creations going on, but they lead you to believe that it's all one. It's not.
Yes.
You have the Lord God, and you have the Supreme God. Most of what they read about is dealing with what the Lord God brought into existence. And that's why they go into the tithing and all that different kind of stuff. God don't need your money. It's nothing that you can give the Supreme God. He doesn't want that. Matter of fact, you got from what He created. That's foolishness.
Teacher, but why is it taking so long? I mean, these are simple, basic concepts, simple, basic ideologies, simple, basic. If you bring me something and can prove it to me with common sense and logic that I'm thinking about, this should be a no-brainer. Why can't we? What's taking us to get out of this?
Well, again, in the Genesis story, you read the generations of Cain. Now, Cain's supposed to have been a murderer, wasn't it?
Yes.
But you read about his generations and his children in the Bible. And it calls them by name. Now, Cain killed Abel, so he didn't have no kids. So there was a third son born named Seth. And you have the descendants written in the Bible by name. And the names are very similar. So you got a group of murderers, connivers, thieves, and all kinds in one group. And you got righteousness, people who uphold the law and justice in another. So you got two different groups of people warring, and they look the same. And when you read the Bible and understand the secrets and the symbols that are in there, then you can understand. Just because this man over here look like me, that don't mean he is like me. He's something else.
Earlier you said, go ahead, TJ.
So if we were all the same, why are not there all black people walking around with their pants hanging below their butts? Why all young kids don't do that? All young kids don't do it. It's just a group of those dirt devils, those no fruit bearers. Yeah, I'm talking about your children, the ones you see coming and going out of your houses every day with their pants below their drawers, and you girls who done took them on as boyfriends.
Yeah, that's a crazy phenomenon. Earlier you said 2 out of every 3 has got to go. Could you elaborate on that?
Well, people study the Bible, but they don't study the most important things. They want to study the stuff that keeps them all thrilled and joyful and excited so they can give more tithe money that God don't need and God don't want. That's all in the flesh. But you had the tribe of Israel and the tribe of Judah. One was the upper tribe, one was the lower tribe. Tribe of Judah were darker in skin tone than the tribe of Israel. So Israel was conquered first because of their disobedience, doing the same thing, following idols. You turn on the TV on the war show and look at all the idols they got around their necks. Gold and that's idolatry. That's straight idolatry. Those in the spiritual world are called demagogues. Look it up, demagogues. They have been chosen from the spiritual side for a certain purpose, to draw certain people away after their image. You got a lot of people want to be like Beyonce. Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah, I was going to ask you a question. Sorry about that. I had muted my phone, and I was trying to ask a question earlier, but I muted myself. Earlier in the show, you were talking about, like real early in the show, you were talking about fear. And I was wanting to ask you, how did that fear get to our people, or where do you think it stems from, and how did it get us? Because we were natural people. I mean, we had no fear. How did that come? You think you got any ideas on that?
Well, from my perspective, and I'm giving my perspective, that way I can take the heat for what I say. I'm not going to put this off on anybody. Yeah, at one point in time, we were a great people, very powerful. But you have to look at it. When you got two gods, yin and yang, good and evil at work, if I come up to you and say, my God of death is more powerful than your God of life. Now, we have served the God of life for thousands of years, made the trees to grow, made the earth to bloom more beautiful than everywhere we dwelled. It was a paradise. So, when these other entities, or whatever you want to call them, came, they worship the God of death. They always have. So they created instruments of death, many different kind of ways how to kill you, to destroy life. They destroying trees, your brothers and sisters, and that destroying the very existence of how you live. So we sit back and we watch this. Wow, look how they kill that man. Even today when you turn on the TV, wow, look at all the weapons. They got a drone, they can shoot a bomb and kill somebody. It drives fear. They are saying that our God of death is more powerful than your God of life.
And we're acquiescing to it.
So are you saying that they are our opposites?
Exactly. If you read in the Bible, it's telling you from the Genesis story. It always have been our opposites. Those who are righteous, those who stand for justice and spiritual truth. There's a lot of words being spoken out there, but the fact is, what's truth and what's not truth? The truth is already in you. But how do you tap into the truth? Look at yourself. You know what type of person you are. You know your innermost, deepest, downest, most dirtiest secret, and they know theirs. But some have an ability to want change, and some say, I'm going to kill as many as I can kill until I get enough blood. Some can't kill one. That's how you know. That's how you know. When you see people out there destroying the trees and killing the vegetation, that's how you know who's who. But see, we're in so much fear. Instead of us going out there saying, we stand for life. And like the gentleman did in Tiananmen Square, that stood in front of the tank with his 2 sacks. He had just came from wherever. He had 2 sacks in his hand, and he went in Tiananmen Square and stood in front of the tank because he stood for life. And if you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. That's why you will go and pull your pants down and show your butt, because you will fall for anything. See, but I stand for life. See, and all those who don't fear, see, why should I fear? Why should I fear you? Because if the preachers that's in these churches claim that they're walking with God, why you don't come up out those church buildings and spread your word to the hood? Instead of sitting up talking and counting your tithe money and asking me, where do I work and what is my income? If I won a jackpot, every church I can find. I'm gonna go up in there and I'm gonna say, you know what? I just won $10 million, and guess what I'm gonna give you? Not a quarter in that order, and I'm gonna turn around and walk out. Not a dime.
Right now,
because
in the
they've been
mainstream,
lying to the people.
right now in the mainstream of America, in the popular culture, there's a song out that's taking everybody out called Happy. Pharrell Williams came out with a song called Happy, and it's a song that every time I see it play, people just go into a frenzy. Doesn't matter who. When they hear that song Happy, they go into a frenzy. What is that? Because what's going on in America, I'm seeing that a lot of people aren't happy. Is that just something to trick us, to let us... What is that?
May I speak? Can I say something, brother?
Yes.
Well, the song Happy is a conditioning song. It's a conditioning song. It's speaking directly to the subconscious and to the conscious of all the people, to, regardless of your condition and your plight and your position, just be happy in it. Just be happy in it. Don't try to move. Don't try to change. Just be happy in it. Well, to a degree, that's partly correct, or that's right, but it's not correct, because if the conditions is that everybody's basically in the same pit of struggle that's worse than we are all known to be, then there's something that we have to question. Well, here comes this song. It comes out, and it's a program. It's a complete program, because all music is programmed. It's to either program you up, or program you down, or program you out of your mind, or program you...
Can you get to the point, brother? Can you get to the point?
That the song Happy is a conditioning song to keep you in the present state of mind, to know, regardless of what's happening, just stay where you are and be happy. Don't worry about this. Don't worry about that. Don't do anything.
Yeah.
Continue on and just stay happy. That's what that song is about.
Thank you, sir, for your life, brother. Teacher, you want to add something to that?
You know what, I agree with what the brother said. Forget about your present condition. Forget about that you know, your daughter is out there selling her body just to try to make ends meet. Forget about your son out there selling drugs because nobody's working. He feels like nobody's going to hire him. And so you just be happy because he came in and she came in with a fat knot tonight. Let's go on and be happy, like a room without a roof. Have you ever been in a damn house that was leaking when it was raining? Yes. But he's saying be happy with a room without a roof. Yeah, as long as the sun is shining, you might be happy. But as soon as it starts raining, then what? See, I'm the type of person. Okay, don't sell me a dream. Give me the outcome. You know, tell me, yeah, there's diamonds and jewels over that mountain. What have you been over there? You got any jewels to show me that? But don't sell me up a creek. See, that's what's going on amongst us. We love to be told dreams, and we love to be told stories, and we love to be led and with fantastic things. And then now they know we love the things that dazzle our eyes. So now they sell us all this trash, which is nothing but junk. Just like I tell people, okay, go buy you some of those shoes. And I wish some of the people would call in and tell me how bad their children's feet stink by wearing those shoes constantly, all day, with the glue and the plastic that go into them.
What is that, Chief? I mean, what is that, teacher? What is that?
foolishness, not understanding.
I'm talking about what are the shoes? I know they're made in some of the poorest places on the planet, but what are you saying? The food, the material that's used to make the clothes and shoes, I guess, is inferior too.
Oh, yes, sir.
Everything
exactly.
is bioengineered.
If I give you something, you want me to give it to you with love. I don't care what it is. If I give it to you and I say, okay, I'm giving you these shoes, I hope your foot rot off when you wear it. Now, you don't hear the people saying that, but can you imagine getting paid 2 cents a day, and you go in there and work all day to make a pair of shoes? You don't go away. I hope the folks who give me foot rot off.
Right.
Because I'm over here, I've got to do this because you have put me in a situation where I can't even support my family. You have made us subjugated slaves, and we're producing the raw materials. You're getting rich while I'm sitting over here barely can even eat. Can you imagine the energy that's going into those things that are being made? Can you imagine the energy that's going into that weed? Some of them people that got... Okay, keep wearing on. That's why you see the people that ain't got good sense. It's driving them mad. In the physical and in the spiritual. Now, if I start talking about the spiritual, how they being driven mad, you take a man's semen. His semen. Now, for you Holy Ghost filled people, there was a man in the Bible that was supposed to raise up seed to his brother because his brother died. And according to the custom, he's supposed to take on the wife of his brother and raise up children unto his brother's name. But this one man, when he got ready to ejaculate in the woman, he poured out and let his seed hit on the ground. Now, we usually see what happened to him. I see rebels all the time with folks' seed on the ground. All those potential children laying out there dead. Can you imagine the spiritual corruption and the spiritual death that's going around this place? You don't understand. They're being consumed with vanity. So yeah, they'll kill their children. That's why you see all these babies winding up dead. They didn't want them in the first place.
256-849-2227 African Americans Ain't Africans Radio. Tonight we're with Ticha Tiwa Khan. He's telling us about the countdown to Armageddon, and he's, just giving us basic information. I think we all see he's using the Bible as a reference point, and I guess the use of that is we're all familiar with that. So it's just giving us some signs of what's going on and the days we face. Teacher, earlier you were alluding to the church as a whore. What do you mean by that, and how can you tell what is going on in the community that's making the church look like a whore?
All right. Every man who takes on a wife, that wife is supposed to listen to her husband. She's supposed to be under her husband's guidance, her husband's instruction, her husband's positive influence. Now, if your wife go out there and she start listening to another man and he start influencing her and changing the routine that her husband is doing, now, he would say, hey, wait a minute. I'm your husband. Don't you supposed to be listening to me? Now, forbid if she go and start having sex, what he might start doing. Because we call that woman a whore. Because she's got more than one head. She's got many heads. She's got many men. We call her a whore. Now, when you look at the church, I'm here to piss some preachers off. These are leaders of whores. And I'm gonna go to your grateful old King James Version, and I'm gonna whack you side the head with it.
Whack me?
Because they talk about, the church is the bride of Christ. Okay, well, if she the bride of Christ, why you celebrating Christmas? Nowhere in the Bible did God tell you to celebrate that pagan holiday or Easter. but they brought it into the church. Now, those came from pagan practices. If you do your research, from pagan practices. Now, how did they get amongst the so-called saints? And if you tell them they to worship in Allah, they're going to come and try to crack their fat head. But back to calling the church a whore. Let's go get a revelation. You know, and I always keep my big old Bible with me because you got people that knock on the door sometime and they want to come in and always try to tell you, and God said, okay, well, all right, let's see. You love this Bible. Let's see what it has to say. I'm going to jump over here to Revelation right quick. Chapter 17. This John the Revelator talking. Because he said he was taken somewhere in the spirit. A lot of people don't even realize that. He said, I was taken away in the spirit. He wasn't taken away in the flesh. His body remained behind. His spirit left. And he saw these things. And yours can do the same thing, but the reason why they saw it, that's why our boys walking around with their pants hanging low. They caught up in the flesh. They don't even know they got a spiritual man. Mind, body, and soul. Mind, body, and spirit. They don't understand they got a spirit.
Excuse me, teacher. What verse did you say that was in Revelation?
Revelation chapter 17. I'm going to start at verse number 1.
Okay.
It says, And there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, come hither, here. It said, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore, that sitteth upon many waters, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast full of the names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, and having a golden cup in her hand, full of the abominations of the filthiness of her fornication. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon, the Great, the mother of harlots, and abomination of the earth. Now, I ain't finna preach to nobody, because ain't nobody sending me a donation. I don't want your money. But if you do your research, this bride of Christ, that was his beautiful bride, without spot or wrinkle, from the beginning, has been reduced down to a 2-good home. Read it. You don't have to take my word for it. If you look at it for what it really is, you will understand. But when you refuse to see that you are going to worship a whore every Sunday, then you'll say, well, it makes sense. But see, as long as you being denied, you'll never know that your man don't love you. You'll never know that your woman don't give a damn about you, because you ain't looking at the sign.
Wow.
When you sit back and you start accepting it and looking at it for what it really is, then you say, it was there all the time. See, so look at it said the great whore. If you keep on reading, it's gonna tell you. This horse sit upon many waters, and the waters represent people. When did water represent people? That's what the Bible says. You so-called preachers. The Bible, water is symbolic in certain places of people. She sit upon many waters. She sit upon many races. They portraying this doctrine all over the world. And guess what? We were supposed to be so religious, but why can I turn on the TV and I can see more good on TV than I can see in my own house? That is supposed to be the religious, the so-called. It said this place is the whole the cage of every evil and wicked bird. Now, if you was a man that was back in the day and you didn't know what a drone looked like, you didn't know what a U-2 spy plane looked like. When you saw it, you said, oh, look at that bird. That's the strangest looking bird I ever seen. Because it's got wings. It looks just like a bird. They didn't know what it looked like. And they said, and all these things caged up. We read in the Bible. And all it caged up. So this place it had caged every evil and wicked bird. Who got all the wicked birds?
Chiefs, I mean, could you say that again? Could you repeat that?
The Bible says this Babylon has caged every evil and wicked bird. They have them in a cage, if you will.
Yes.
Now, if you were a person back in the day and you never saw an airplane before or any type of drone, and you saw this in the spirit, and you said, well, God dog, look at that strange looking bird. And they got them in cages. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So when you look at it for what it is, who got all the caged birds? Oh, we'll just go and push a button. Or we'll just come out and fly all the way across the world, and it'll do this, and it'll do this. We can see all in the sky, and we can see this, and we'll kill hundreds of people just with a flip of a button. It's like playing a video game.
Yes.
Are you serious? Is it that easy to kill people? There those murders are again. Oh, they popped up again. But it was in the beginning with Cain, wasn't it? They killed Abel. Don't you people understand? They don't understand because you're trying to change the descendants of the murderer. Not me. It's tree chopping time.
Area code 256.
It's countdown to Armageddon. All you corruptors, all you evildoers, those who are not promoting life, it's tree cutting time.
Area code 256-849-2227. We're on African American Ain't African Radio with Ticha Tiwa Khan. Callers on the line. Does anybody have any questions or anything they would like to add? Ticha, in closing up, earlier we talked about submissive to nothingness. Could you tell our listeners, what do you mean by submissive to nothingness?
Submissiveness to nothingness. All right. I like to tell people, break all words down and you can figure it out yourself. Submit means to give over your authority to, or to humble yourself to. To nothingness means to just what it is, to nothing. Now, if you're going to submit to something or become a follower of something, surely there should be some outcome at the end to make it profitable for you, and as well as those that are coming after you. So when you go around and you submit yourself to a fad, you submit yourself to walk around. I got to have Dunbar shoes, Dunbar pants, Dunbar shirt, Dunbar hat. And I feel so good wearing Dunbar till I'm going to spend $5,000 to get all this Dumbo crap to dress the outside of my body. So I have submitted myself to Dumbo. But what is Dumbo going to give me? Is Dumbo paying you to wear? Are you going to be a spokesperson for Dumbo? See, the thing is, we submit ourselves to everything and all things and get nothing out of it. We become walking billboards for free.
So are you saying that the earth is just saying, with our submissiveness to nothing, being that we're not producing, being that we're not harborers of life, are you saying that the earth has to do away?
It's tree cutting time. And if you know anything about the four horsemen, a lot of people don't even understand that story.
Can you explain it?
Yes, sir. The very last horseman that came out on the earth, that was released on the earth, was in its original tongue called the chloros horse, which was the green one. That's why you're hearing about green earth. All the temples over there in the Middle East are painted green now. Everything green, green this, green that, green this. This is the last horse that's being released upon the earth. What was the rider? Death was the rider. And hell was following right behind it, which representative of the grave. It's tree cutting time. So all these worthless trees, it's tree cutting time.
The trees that bear no fruit. Teacher, what would you tell the listeners who are not bearing any fruit and they don't want to be a tree that's cut down? What would you say to them?
Go get a bag of lime, pour it around the foot, add a little extra water to it. Now, those things are symbolic to me. And I'm only talking to those who are spiritually in tune. At this point, if they are not in tune, I ain't trying to get them in tune. It makes me no difference. Because it's no time for teaching. It's no time for having church Sunday going to church meetings and call meetings and all that. You done had 400 years to do that. You're just wasting my time. If you're serious, then you get on the bandwagon and start standing to put a stop to all this foolishness. Stop being submissive to brand names and stop going fat in their pockets and start putting more in the pockets of your family. Start thinking about it instead of taking that dollar, spending it on nonsense, getting you a bank together and all of y'all put $2 or $3 in there together and make sure that everybody's held to that standard. Every family member broke. That's a shame. You got 5 or 6 people standing in the house, and ain't nobody got no money. But everybody got a big old car with some fat rims on it, and wearing Bumbo juice shoes and Bumbo jeans and Bumbo shirts and a Bumbo hat. But that's all they wear. And once they wear that for 3 days or 4 days, and everybody has been seeing it, then they got to go get them another one.
Consuming big time. Any listeners want to add a question or ask the teacher something? Please feel free. Rick Moon, what? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, it's like this, brother. Like I said, I came to piss some folks off, and my thing is this: I'm sick of people's excuses that they make for not doing what they're supposed to do, for not seeking out the correct information, for not saying no to some of the things that you know that is not good. When you see your daughters walking around with booty cutter shorts on, why don't your brother tell you not to do it? Why don't your mama tell you not to do it? Why don't your daddy tell you not to do it? And if your boyfriend had any respect for you, he'll tell you not to do it. And vice versa with the dudes. Because my thing is this: if she bring one to my house and his pants dragging off like that there, you best believe it'll be some folks called. Because you ain't finna stay around here. I'm just being honest with you. You're not staying around here. Because I don't want to see you and I don't want to smell you. Because in the summertime, these dudes cracks get more stanky than some of these women. Because they come sit in my chair and have to cut their hair. And they fumigate in the whole room, but you got the nerve to walk around with your pants hanging down below your drawers.
That phenomenon is something that is really unbelievable. That can't be comfortable. That cannot be comfortable.
What you say, Rich? I thought I heard
So
Rick.
what they do when police are after them, they just give up?
Well, I saw a dude running from the cop one time, and the cop was a white guy, about 350 pounds, and he was running, holding up his pants. But what happened was he almost got ready to drop a piece of the merchandise, so he let the pants go to hold the merchandise. The pants tripped him up, and the fat cop came and laid on top of him.
Wow.
Now this a young dude. He was dropping the merchandise, reached up to grab the merchandise, the pants fell down and tripped him up. Dumb. Now this is what you're supposed to unleash on the world. I ain't only talking about those of color. I'm talking about all the people that are producing nothing.
Nothing. Yes.
You want to release them out to the world.
Well, teacher,
Hey, teacher, I want to.
Hispanics, whoever out there doing it.
Huh?
Sir?
Oh, I was going to ask you something before we let you get out of here. Most of the people out there, I've had the pleasure of meeting with Ticha on occasions, and I've been to his house and been around his family and everything. And I just wanted to ask Ticha if he didn't mind, if he could kind of tell the people out there things that you're doing in your community, because I know, you know, those people who out there get pissed off. Maybe, you know, if you tell them some of the things that you do without letting all your secrets out, you know, then people realize that you're serious in what you're doing, and you're very you mean what you say.
Yes, sir. My thing is this. Just like I say, it's tree cutting time. Those trees that are bearing fruit, I'm putting lime around the foot and giving them extra water so they can continue to blossom. So I'm not by any means leaving people out there to hang out and dry, because I know people fall in bad situations, and they are not bad people, them or their children. But all you got to do is watch people's kids, and you know what the parents are about. They're hiding behind talking about, well, I didn't know my youth. You're a lie. You know what they're doing. You just don't want to take on the responsibility. You don't want to face your own fear that you birthed a fruitless tree. Face your own fear, and you have to, and you deal with it. But yes, those that are out there struggling, every young man that never came to me and said, what do you have for me to do? What summer job? I said, whatever you come up with, I'm going to put half behind. So whatever they come up with, all they got to do is show up. I'm going to put the rest behind them. But you think I'm going to go out here talking about, here you go, man, I see you standing out here with your pants dragging the ground. Here, no. It don't work like that. You just feeding something for nothing attitude. I can stand around here all day and folks gonna come get no. Produce something. If it's producing dust from a broom because you sweeping the sidewalk, dude, do something. You go by their house, trash piled all up, bottles, beer bottles, cans, paper, chip bags, and everything else. You don't even sweep it around your house, but you want somebody to give you something. Tree chopping time. Countdown to Armageddon is the beginning of the end for these no fruit bearers.
Well, Ticha, I really appreciate you joining us tonight. You gave it to us straight, no chaser. What else, in closing, what else for these upcoming months, summertime? We're about to run into summertime. What should we know about these upcoming months?
Stay away from all the so-called functions that we know of. Now, those who are spiritual understand what I'm talking about. Those that are not in tune, go out there, fill your bellies up on pork chops, ribs, chicken wings, leg bones, fat back, stripperline, hog jowls, chitlins, and whatever else you want to eat. Drink you a beer, 4 ounce. Get you some wine, some Dom Perignon. If you understand what I'm saying, some Chic-Rock or whatever you want to drink, and live it up, and see how many people get killed. It's too fucking tired.
Well, Ticha, thank you for joining us tonight, man. I really appreciate it. And you're right, brother, because we dropping like flies around here.
I'm telling you what's getting ready to happen in the spirit. Countdown to Armageddon, because the earth has a way of cleaning, and it starts with the house, with the home first, with the people that were responsible for this planet, which were the people of color. So get ready. And you wonder why all of them dropping. Oh, they got 10 got shot, 5 got shot. Oh, 50 got shot. Oh, that's a small number.
Yes. Well, Ticha, thank you for joining us tonight, man. I really appreciate it. So you got to come back and talk to us, brother.
Yes, sir. Anytime, man. Brother Rick, nice talking to you again.
Hey, it's good talking to you. Always good talking to you, teacher.
Yes, sir. And hopefully we can gather up again and do some spiritual steel sharpening steel. You too, Buck.
All right, brother. Well, look, I appreciate you very much. Yes, sir. Thank you, audience, for sitting with us with another round. We hope the information that Ticha put out to us tonight was useful to us. This is the kind of information that's useful to me, because we're looking around here and we have to see what's happening to us. We can't go out like this. So I want to thank Ticha, for my co-host Rick Moon. This is African American Ain't African Radio. We're going to be in Thursday night with another new guest. Please listen to us. Please support us at African Americans Ain't African Radio. We hope the information is beneficial and useful to you, and we'll see you next time. Peace out.
Good night.